Amateur radio newsline will start in 5 minutes.
W8WKY. Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2382 with the release date of Friday, June 23rd, 2023 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams get on the air as a cyclone hits India. The FCC systems go back online and get ready to chase the 13 colonies special event stations. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2382 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Our top story takes us to India, where hams played a crucial role in public safety and communication as a cyclone enveloped the region. More on that from Jim Meachin, ZL2 BHF.
Amateur radio operators in western India were deployed and kept on high alert as Cyclone Biparjoy closed in on the western shore near the port of Jakhau on Thursday, June 15th, tearing roofs of houses and leaving thousands without power. And local news reports from the Indian state of Gujarat said that the state's Disaster Management Authority responded to power outages and other damage by deploying 6 ham radio teams, 2 of them in the district near the port of Jakhau, as well as a number of mobile units. Pakistan and India had already moved an estimated 173,000 people to shelters in preparation for the storm's arrival. The deadly cyclone killed at least 2 people in India before weakening and heading towards Pakistan's southern coastal areas. The name of the cyclone, Biparjoy, means disaster in Bengali. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
In the United States, the FCC reported an end to the long shutdown of some of its systems, much to the relief of hams and others needing to file documents. Paul Brown, WD9GCO, brings us that report.
The Federal Communications Commission's nearly month-long outage of its universal licensing system and related systems has ended. The systems came back online on a limited basis on Wednesday, June 21st. A public announcement by the FCC alerted users to the remaining unavailability of the system's query download function, which permits search results to be saved as text files. The shutdown put the brakes on amateur radio filings and other FCC applications that were facing immediate deadlines, causing widespread frustration and much wider speculation as to the cause behind the shutdown. The FCC's public announcement did not address the cause, and despite repeated requests from Amateur Radio Newsline to clarify what had occurred, the agency referred only to the announcement on the website. The announcement cited, quote, technical issues, end quote. It was not possible to determine specifically where those issues occurred or why they occurred, and whether there had been a security breach or if any presumed built-in redundancies failed to operate properly. The FCC said it has provided deadline extensions for filings that were affected by the shutdown and that it expects high traffic on its systems in the days to come. Those ULS applications that were impacted will not need to pay waiver fees, seek waivers, or provide any special attachments. The FCC said that the deadline extensions and other relief measures only apply to those filings between the outage period of June 9th through June 29th. This is Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
The World Radio Sport Team Championship, which is about to open shortly near Bologna, Italy, has gained the official patronage and support of the Ministry of Enterprises and the Made in Italy initiative. The competition is being held in a region of Italy known as an economic engine because of the strength of its business ventures in technology and craftsmanship. This recognition adds a much-needed boost following the devastating floods that swept the region, challenging the organizers of the event, which takes place on July 4th through July 11th. It's a historic milestone for an on-air event that celebrates America's revolutionary past. Amateur Radio Newsline Mark Abramovich, NT3V, has the story.
It's back and marking its 15th year on the ham bands. It's the annual 13 Colony special event running this year from July 1st to July 7th. Bob Joswhite, WA3PZO, is coordinator for WM3PEN, a special call sign activated from the Cradle of Liberty in Philadelphia.
It's a relatively easy event for many people to operate, just making contact with one or more of the 13 special event stations in each of the 13 colonies. Plus, we've added in, over the years, 3 bonus stations, WM3PEN in Philadelphia, GB13COL in England, and recently TM13COL in France.
Josh White says activity during the 13 colony special event has been climbing rapidly in recent years, and there are some occasional pileups, so you may need a little patience and persistence to get through.
Last year we were well over a 250,000 contacts for all the stations combined, and for WM3PEN back in 2013, I believe it was, we were just around 3,000 contacts. Last year we were closer to 13,000.
There's a special certificate offered to operators working the event, and each of the groups running stations in the original 13 colonies has special QSL cards tied to this year's theme surrounding the signers of the Declaration of Independence.
We'll be on all modes at different times. HF, the satellites, will have some SSTV. Best thing to do is watch the various SmartSDR networks such as DX Summit. There's a 13 colonies Facebook page which people can monitor as well.
Joshua White says you don't have to be a contester to work the stations. He says the operators at each station realize how much interest there is. Many, Joshua White says, will be operating long hours, even on the 4th of July holiday, to make sure every station they can work gets into the log. For a link to the group's website, go to the text version of this story published on our website, arnewsline.org. I'm Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
The challenge is on Are You Up to It? The European Space Agency and S5 are inviting hams around the world to get involved in making a special contact through the digipeater of an educational CubeSat known as LEDSat. Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, tells us how to get involved.
LEDSat, an LED CubeSat developed by university students in Rome with assistance from AMSAT Italia, was created primarily to demonstrate an LED-based payload to be used with ground-based optical tracking. Starting on June 26th and through to July 30th, it takes on a secondary purpose. It is part of a challenge to hams that will win them the prize of a personalized QSL card designed just for this competition. Hams are being asked to send a digital message via satellite to PI9ESA, the ground station of the ESA's education office. The CubeSat follows a sun-synchronous orbit, and its digipeater will be activated at certain times. It has 2 communication windows, one around midday and one around midnight. Operators will be based at the ESA ground station to copy the messages. Hams are encouraged to use their preferred pass prediction software to assist in the contact. LEDSat's digipeater has the ability to store and forward digital messages with a delay of up to 2 days. For details about frequencies being used and other procedures of the operation, visit the ESA website at esa.int and search for LEDSat. The challenge was organized to celebrate the launch of LEDSat in August of 2021.
The Chief Executive Officer of iFixit, a business that provides toolkits and repair guides for do-it-yourselfers, distinguished himself on the California campus of his alma mater recently. Kyle Weens, who graduated from California Polytechnic State University, took his ham radio license exam under the watchful eye of volunteer examiners from the Cal Poly Amateur Radio Club, W6BHZ. He passed, becoming the newest licensee, number 2,000. It was a different kind of graduation for Kyle, who founded his company with a friend in a campus dorm room in 2003 while he was still a student at Cal Poly. 6 years later, in 2009, the on-campus amateur radio club began offering license exams for students and the public. According to an article on the club's website, Kyle wasn't the only one from iFixit to claim newfound status as a licensee. Several members of the iFixit team were also there and passed right along with the boss. Time for you to identify your station. We're the amateur radio newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the KD2SL repeater in Syracuse, New York at 8 p.m., following the Monday Night Hobby and Information Net. Japan's ham fair continues to be the largest largest ham fest in the world, and the Japan Amateur Radio League has high hopes that at the 2023 event, visitors will enjoy a new era in amateur radio this coming August. In fact, that new era is the very theme of the two-day event, August 20th and 21st at Tokyo's Big Sight Convention Center. This will be the 45th year for the league's ham fair, which was canceled in 2021 due to concerns about the pandemic. Before Japan's ham fair, however, the weekend of the release of this newscast, Europe's largest ham fest, the 46th ham radio event in Friedrichshafen, was getting underway in the new Messe Expo Center. In Washington, D.C., the FCC's policy on wideband devices has once again responded to changes in the market. We have details from Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
The FCC's policy concerning ultra-wideband devices appears to be broadening to allow for expanded growth in the way the technology is used, according to a recent report. A June 13th posting written by Venable LLC and posted on the website jdsupra.com noted that the agency granted a waiver of Part 15 rules to the Schlage Lock Company, LLC, to enable the security firm to put one of its ultra-wideband home security locks on the market. The report said it was the first waiver of its kind to be granted this year, but the action appears to show that the FCC is continuing on a 20-year trajectory to relax its permissions for ultra-wideband technology. Nearly 20 such waivers have been granted over the years for this unlicensed use of low-power RF signals, generally employed for security uses, medical imaging, and even robotic lawnmowers. The Schlage Company made the request on behalf of its residential door locks, which make use of ultra-wideband signals in combination with Bluetooth. The website's report notes that the Commission bases its approval of a waiver request if it determines licensed radio services would not face harmful interference when such a device is in use. The Commission's Office of Engineering and Technology concluded there was a low likelihood of harmful interference in this case, especially with the transmissions taking place in a small space relatively close to the ground. The Venable article did say, however, that the FCC has not indicated it was considering a policy change or any kind of overall update for ultra-wideband technologies. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
Are you enjoying Newsline's weekly ham radio haiku? Join our challenge. We're inviting listeners to share the joy of amateur radio in the form of a haiku. On our website, arnewsline.org, you will find a submission form for sending your most creative offering. Be sure you follow the traditional form to qualify. The first line is 5 syllables, the second line is 7 syllables, and the finishing third line has another 5 syllables. Be sure to match that format to qualify. Our team will pick from the best submissions that follow the 5-7-5 syllable rule and represent the love of amateur radio. Your prize? Bragging rights, and a featured spot for your haiku on the Amateur Radio Newsline's website. Meanwhile, visit our website at arnewsline.org to see this week's winning haiku. In amateur radio, there's code, as in Morse code, and then there's coding, the kind of coding some hams use in programming for their equipment. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us how the Radio Society of Great Britain has big plans for newcomers to coding.
Ham radio learning has been transformed by the BBC microbit and the Arduino, and hams attracted to the kind of coding involved are rapidly gaining enthusiasm. The Radio Society of Great Britain is preparing for National Coding Week, which takes place during the 3rd week of September, and is looking for volunteers who can develop activities to encourage newcomers to coding, newcomers of all ages, to explore this new experience. The RSGB will be putting an extra emphasis on coding skills during the 3rd week of September, and hopes hams will offer some creative approaches for amateurs of all ages. If you have an idea, please contact John Hislop, G70HO, of the Exam and Syllabus Review Group. You can find his email in the text version of this week's Newsline script. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In Australia, hams who belong to one radio group know that a lot has happened in the last 100 years, and they're celebrating all those years. For good reason. John Williams, VK4JJW, tells us what it's all about.
Congratulations to the Ballarat Amateur Radio Group, VK3BML, which is marking its 100th anniversary with a month-long on-air event. It was big news in June of 1923 when the Ballarat Star newspaper announced the formation of a ham radio group and informed readers of its first general meeting on the 23rd of June. At the time, the organisation was identified as the Ballarat Amateur Radio Club. Under the leadership of Ben Daniel, VK3NRD, the members themselves are not certain how the original ham groups may have changed, especially with the slight difference in its name, and they continue to research their history. Meanwhile, members are celebrating their centenary. There's no special event call sign, but hams around the world are being asked to listen for individual stations from Ballarat in the state of Victoria, Australia, and share in the special occasion. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
In the world of DX, be listening for Dave, W9DR on the air as VP2V/W9DR from Anegada in the British Virgin Islands. IOTA number NA-023 from the 23rd to the 29th of June. He's using FT8, Q65, SSB, and CWN 6 meters only. QSL direct to his home call. Be listening for Ken, K4ZW, and Bob 9XY, operating with the call sign ET3AA, the Ethiopian Amateur Radio Society's club station at the Addis Ababa University's Institute of Technology from June 19th to the 29th. They will be using CW, SSB, and FT8 on 6 meters and all HF bands except for 80 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. In the Amami Islands, IOTA number AS-023, Masa JF3ELH will be using the call sign JF3ELH/6 for CW and SSB, and will be using the call sign JF3ELH/P for FT8 operations. He will be operating on 80 to 6 meters QSL via home call. Listen for Yes, JA1QQU on the air as KH2/JA1QQU from Guam, IOTA number OC-026 from the 29th of June until the 4th of July. See QRZ.com for more details. Fans of GPS global positioning satellite navigation might soon be feeling a little fickle about their allegiance to this system. There's a new option in town, or there will be soon enough. Graham Kemp, BK4BB, concludes this week's report with his story about the promises offered by a special kind of subatomic particle.
They're known as Mahurons, subatomic high-energy particles that always travel at the same speed. They can be found all over the Earth, and researchers at the University of Tokyo are studying these readily available Mahurons as the basis for wireless navigation that can also function indoors, underwater, and beneath the ground. Hiroyuki Tanaka calls it the Mahuron Positioning System. Unlike GPS devices, which gather information from low Earth orbit satellites, murometric positioning uses the reference point of muron detecting sensors. Researchers acknowledge that while this shows promise, accuracy needs to be further fine-tuned before the system can be deployed in devices such as smartphones. But it certainly means that navigation itself could travel in a whole new direction. I'm Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Do you have a piece of amateur radio news that you think Newsline would be interested in? We're not talking about advertising your club's upcoming Hamfest or Field Day participation, but something that's out of the ordinary. And if so, send us a brief overview via the contact page at arnewsline.org. If it's newsworthy and we'd like to cover it, we'll get back to you for more details. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, AMSAT News Service, ARRL, Eris-USA, Associated Press, Ballarat Amateur Radio Group, Cal Poly Amateur Radio Club, CQ Magazine, David Behar, K7DB, DX-World.net, EHAM.net, 425DX News, iFixit website, IFL Science, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, Radio World, ShorewaveRadio.de, Times of India, Venable LLC, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. And if you wish to support us, please visit our website at airnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
the weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes.
N8WB. This is W8ELM.
W8ELM, November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Go ahead, Eric.
Just wanted to check and get a signal report from you.
Signal is great, and you'll be on this evening for the trivia question, so really cool. Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you, Stefan. W8ELM standing by.
W8ELM, November 8 Whiskey Bravo, and I'll be clear until net time.
Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
CQ. This is WAWKY calling CQ for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night weekly net. Net control this evening is yours truly, Stefan, November 8, Whiskey Bravo. This net uses the club call sign Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee for all traffic. This is a control net, and all traffic must pass through net control. Emergency traffic may break into this net at any time. Sarah meets on this repeater every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. This net is open to all licensed amateurs, and any amateur is encouraged to check in and join us. The PL tone for this repeater is 114 Mark 8, as a good friend of mine says every morning. We'll go through some announcements, followed by a round of in and out check-ins by counties, and then we'll move to regular check-ins, also by counties, and then we'll get our trivia question for this evening from Eric Elm, W8ELM. And here are tonight's announcements. The Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association is pleased to announce our 2023 build project. This year we will be constructing a 14% off center-fed dipole. A 14% off center-fed dipole is easily tunable on 80, 40, 17, 15, 12, 10, and 6-meter bands with the internal radio in any standard HF radio. The build will occur in July or early August as a lead-up to the Ohio QSO party. The full OCF dipole is 132 feet long, and those desiring something smaller, a 65-foot long unit can be constructed, which emits reasonable tunability on 80 meters. The cost will be $96. Sign-up and payment must be made by June 26th, but we've extended that until later tonight, so the 27th, I believe, today. This is the last day that you can sign up. There will be no refunds, as the materials will already be ordered. However, you are able to sell or give your spot to someone else. Depending on the number of participants, there may be more than one build day offered. You do not need to participate in the build day itself if you just want the kit to build on your own. Please contact Jason McCormick, N8EI, with any questions, and that information is available on the WAWKY.org/2023-build-project. You can just go right over to our website and take a look at that. The Northern Ohio Amateur Radio Society presents Nor's Fest 2023 at the Reeser Grand Room at the Spitzer Conference Center, Lorain County Community College, 1005 North Abbey Road, Elyria, Ohio. Saturday, July 15th, 2023. Doors will open to the public 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. and the vendors can set up at 7:30. Admission is $7. There will be on-site VE testing. We prefer registration, but walk-ins are acceptable. Testing will start at 9 a.m. and entries close at 11 a.m. And you can email Elaine Wilkinson, KC8FOS. All that information and more for the Nor's Fest is available on Nors.net. Nors.net, just look for the Nor's Fest, which is the very top of the page. Click on it, and you'll see all the additional information for Nor's Fest. Great festival. I've been to it many times, and I know several of the people who are part of the Nor's Club, and I am a member as well, and several of the people who run it, including Elaine, who does the VE testing and has sat in on some of our VE testing when she was re-kicking up the Nor's VE test group. So very good group. Check them out if you can. One more announcement, and then I'll reach out and see if anybody else has any other announcements. All right, the Northeast Ohio Amateur Radio Roundup. Amanda Ferrone, KC3 GFU, wrote to us and said, I am the current ARRL Ohio Section Affiliated Club Coordinator. My home club, Western Reserve ARC, is hosting an event to promote club camaraderie. The event is called the Northeast Ohio Amateur Radio Roundup. It will be held Saturday, again, July 15th from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. So you could probably go to Nor's Fest in the morning and then go right over to this event until 6 p.m. at the Harry Meschel Picnic Area, Lake Milton State Park, Ohio. All amateur radio activities are welcome, including POTA, antenna building, and experimenting, and just general eyeball QSOs and rag chew. There will be a fox hunt at 2 p.m., with a great prize for the first place, and lunch will be provided. We have lots of door prizes to give away every hour, and you must be present to claim them. The admission is free, and no purchase is necessary to be entered into the door prize giveaway. It'll just be a day of fun for amateur radio enthusiasts, and she also said, I would like to personally invite you and your fellow club members to join us. If you could, please share the attached flyer with members. And if you go to our webpage, W8WKY, you'll see it on the front page for the NEO Amateur Radio Roundup. Click there and click on the link for the flyer, and you'll get all the additional information. One moment for a repeater check. All right, let me reach out and see are there any other people that have any other announcements for the good of amateur radio. Please call Whiskey 8, Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Nothing heard. One other thing is Dr. Jack Compact Antenna will also be at Norsefest, so you can actually talk to the doctor and to see his wonderful antennas, which I am transmitting from one of them right now on my tower. And we just installed one for WE8WIZ, the Wiz, on his tower. Aside from that, we're going to do some check-ins. I'm using NetLogger this evening, and I'll be taking check-ins with a callback format. As you check in, I'll repeat your call sign back to you right away so that you know that you're rogered onto the net, and then I'll grab the next check-in. Also, if you can, I would like to ask if people could check in phonetically. It helps me out just a little bit. If that would be not a problem, that'd be great. First tonight, we'd like to welcome any newly licensed hams or hams who are new to our net to check in at this time. So if you're newly licensed or never been on this net before, we'd like to ask you to be the first to check in. This is a check in and out. If you'd like to wait until we're in the part of the net where you stay checked in and we go do a round robin, that'd be great. But this one is just to get on and to get off. Check-in is for any newly licensed hams or new to our net. Please call W8WKY. All right. I guess we don't have any newly licensed hams. But if you decide later on the net to jump in, please do so. And up until this point, we'd like to take in and out check-ins, and to reduce collisions, we'll take internet check-ins. We'll take in and out check-ins by county, and at this time, we'll take in and out check-ins from Medina County. Please call W8WKY.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Golf X-ray X-ray, Tom Wadsworth, in and out.
All right, Tom, WA8GXX. Good to hear you in the morning. Thank you, my friend. And next, Medina County.
Kilo Delta 8, Echo Papa Charlie, KD8EPC, Dustin and Medina, in and out.
All right, KD8EPC, thanks, Dustin, for that. Next, in and out, Medina.
Kilo Delta 2, Hotel Charlie Echo, Chris and Medina, in and out.
All right, KD2HCE, Chris, we appreciate that. Next, in and out from Medina, please call. Medina County, in and out. Any more? All right, nothing heard. Wayne County, in and out. Please call W8WKY.
November 8, Delta Romeo Delta, N8DRD, Don in Marshallville, in and out. Great job tonight on the Newsline there, Stefan. Did a great job.
N8DRD, thank you, my friend Donald. Appreciate that. That's actually my brother's name too, so it brought it home. I'm trying to get him in the hobby of ham, and he's got 2 boys, and I'd like to get them all in there. But anyways, appreciate the good comment. Next, Wayne County, in and out. Please call.
This is KB8LNK. We're on Norville, in and out tonight.
E8 DLB, Randy and Ripman.
All right, so I got KB8LNK, appreciate that. Ronald, appreciate that. And for the in and out, KE8TLV, Randy, that's an in and out, correct?
KE8TLB, be in and out. How you doing, Stefan? Good to hear you. You're doing a great job.
Appreciate that, KEATLB. Thanks, Randy. And Randy was one of the people that helped put the new antenna up on the Wiz's roof there. But appreciate that, Randy, and everyone who's been in there. Let's see, any other Wayne in Wayne County check-ins, please call. All right, moving over to Stark County. Stark County, any Stark County in and out check-ins, please call W8WKY.
W8FOP, Jim, Tigertown, in and out.
Roger.
Okay, Roger, hold on one sec. I got W8FOP, James, appreciate that. And then you were walking underneath W8FOP. Whoever you are, please call me back.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Romeo, Quebec.
All right, you were Roger. I heard KE8, URQ, so you were Roger. You were just Rogering yourself into the next. Thank you, my friend. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Next Stark County in and out, please call. All right, nothing here. Let's move to Cuyahoga. Cuyahoga County in and out, please call W8WKY.
This is November 8, November Delta Lima in Strongsville. Stefan doing a great job on the net, and I agree on the Newsline. Excellent audio on the Newsline, by the way. And I heard you mention Compact Antenna at the Norris Fest for the benefit of ham radio operators. I understand Compact Antenna is also donating the door prize of the 2M440 Plus model. Thank you, Stefan. I'm in and out, but I will be listening for the whole net, but in the background. N8NDL.
N8NDL, we appreciate that, Dr. Jack. Thank you so much for that. And you know, anyone who checks in and out can always jump back into the net at any time, so thank you, and always keep that in mind, anyone. Next, any other Cuyahoga County in and outs, please call.
Here is N8PZD. I'd like to participate in the trivia.
All right, and I it's kind of scratchy. Can you say it one more time slowly?
Nobody ate purple zucchini downtown.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, so I know who you are now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you down a little bit on the list, so because you want to be part of the later section, so appreciate that. Okay, any other Cuyahoga County in and outs, please call. All right, we're rounding the corner. We're almost done with in and outs, but we're going to reach out for a few more counties. Summit County, any Summit County in and outs, please call. W8WKY.
Whiskey Bravo 8, Victor Mike Whiskey, Jim in Barberton.
All right, there's our guy that's always there in the morning, and he's always keeping those. He's always keeping the tubes warmed up there, so we do appreciate that, Jim, my friend, and we will get together soon for that the date with the fishing poles. Any other Summit County check-in and outs, please call.
SB8OU Coventry.
Hey, Zeke, give me your call one more time, and I apologize. It's just I always forget yours, and I do forgive me for that.
AB8OU Alpha Bravo 8 Oscar Uniform.
It's probably because you have the coolest call sign out there, AB8OU. Other than Alpha 8 Charlie Sierra, I think it's one of the coolest ones, AB8OU. So thank you, Zeke, for the in and out traffic. We appreciate that. Any more Summit, please call.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Tango Mike, Carry it, Portage Lakes. I'll be in and out.
That's the voice. WACT and Carrie down there are one of my favorite places in the world. Portage Lakes. Great to hear you, my friend. Great to have you as our barometer net closer every morning. And I'm always excited when I'm running the net, when I get to run it and have you as my closer as well. It's just a cool feeling. Thanks, my friend. Any other Summit County in and outs, please call.
November Tango 8 Delta NT8D. Dave and Copley in and out tonight. W8.
All right, I had an NT8D, and then I think somebody tripped the repeater for about a second. If you want to call me back, that'd be great.
Kilo Delta 8 Zulu Sierra Hotel, Randy and Akron, in and out.
All right, 88 ZSH. We appreciate that, Randy. It's always great to hear you, my friend. I hear you on the barometer net sometimes in the morning when I'm driving, if I have a little time to spend more, and sometimes when I'm on. Appreciate that. Any other Summit County, please call.
November 8, Uniform Kilo Mike, Chris, Copley Township, in and out.
Chris, that was November 8 Uniform, and I missed the last part. It's my fault.
I'll forgive you. Uniform Kilo Mike. Uniform Kilo Mike.
All right, I got you. Uniform Kilo Mike, N8 UCM. Thank you, my friend, for that. Appreciate it. Germantown. Nice, very nice. Thank you, my friend. Anybody else in Summit County?
KM, Kilo, not Charlie.
Okay, I apologize. Let me grab that. And okay, there it is. I had the wrong one. So let me pop that really quick, and now we got you there, Chris. So N8UKM, appreciate that. Over there in Copley, very nice. Yeah, know a lot of people in Copley, including Dave, who just called in a second ago. Any other Summit County, please call. All right, nothing heard, and now we go to any county, anywhere for check-ins. Any county, anywhere, which is kind of funny because we only list off 5 counties that are in our area, but we have 88 counties in the state. And now that we have All-Star, this could be bad. Now I know we never have all the counties checking in, but any county, anywhere that want to check in, please, in and out, please call W8WKY.
November 8 Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London.
All right, NAWS. Bill, say hi to Judy for us. Next check-in.
Kilo Echo 8 Echo Hotel Golf, KEHG, Mike and Navarre.
All right, I had a double there, but I did hear Mike, KE8 EHG, Mike and Navarre. Appreciate that. Always good to hear you. And whoever was talking and doubling with him, if you call me back, I can get you on the log.
November 8, Sierra Kilo November, Bob in Sugar Bush Knolls.
All right, N8 SKN, N8 SKN. Appreciate that, Bob. Thank you so much for that, and appreciate you doing the in and out there for us. Any other in and outs, please call. All right, give me 1 second, and then we're going to do check-ins for the regular part of the net. Just give me 1 second to do just a momentary piece of housekeeping that I need to do. All right, here we go. So we are going to start regular check-ins, and that is, if you'd like to hear the trivia question, that this evening is going to be given to us by W8ELM Eric, good friend, also on our VE team, and he always comes up with really, really good trivia questions. So this is the regular side of the net. So we're going to also do this by counties. If you want to be part of this and do the round robin that we do, 1 round, that'd be great. And we're going to take check-ins for that for Medina County check-ins. Please call W8WKY. No Medina County check-ins for the regular part? All right, let's go to Wayne County. Wayne County, if you want to check in for the regular side of the net.
N8WB, this is Kilo Delta 8, Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick in Orville.
All right, KD8 SLG, we got you there, Nick. Appreciate that down there in Orville. Beautiful place. And anyone else from Wayne County that would like to check in?
Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa KC8
HDP, Jerry in Shreve.
KC8 HDP, we appreciate that, Jerry. Jerry's also on the VE team. Great to have you here this evening, my friend. Several of the VE on the Sarah team are with us this evening. Any other Wayne County, please call.
Kilo Charlie 8 Delta Echo Oscar KC8 DEO Benny in Doylestown. I'm going to have to be in and out here. Stefan, sorry about that.
Not a problem. KC8 DEO, wish you could have hung out, Benny, but we'll get in touch one of these days and we'll figure out the Christmas party trivia question, the trivia quiz for the next one. Christmas, we got a few months to go, but it might be Christmas in July. Any other Wayne County check-ins, please call. All right, nothing heard. Stark County, we're taking Stark County check-ins for the regular part of the SARAnet. Stark County check-ins, please call W8 WKY.
Kilo Echo 8 November Delta Whiskey, Connor in North Canton.
All right, Connor, KE8 NDW, appreciate that. We'll get right back to you in a little bit. Any other check-ins, Stark County?
Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo.
All right, Phil, WV3K, we appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Any other Stark County?
Steph. Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo KE8 UIB John in Massillon.
All right, KE8 UIB, John, got you there. We'll get back to you in a little bit. And somebody was doubling with John, whoever that is. If you could please call me back, I'll get you on the log.
Stefan, I'm sorry, that was me. I actually wanted to be a regular. I thought you were checking regulars earlier. Sorry about that. KE8 EHG. Sorry for the mix-up.
Not a problem, Leaf. I'll find you and move you down. EHG. I got you right there. No problem, my friend. It's always a joy to put people in their place. I mean, on the list the right way. That was a joke. But all right, we're going to take any more Stark County so we can move this along a little bit. Any more Stark County, that'd be great. All right, nothing heard. Cuyahoga County check-ins for the regular side of the net. Cuyahoga County check-ins called W8WKY. Thank you. Any Cuyahoga County check-ins? All right, nothing heard. Summit County check-ins. We're going to take Summit County check-ins for the regular side of the SARAnet. Please call W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is WO3X Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, WO3X. Yes, it is, John. Great to hear you, my friend. Any other summit, please call.
This Sierra Golf Kilo Golf Force Sierra Charlie Kilo.
Could you give that to me one more? I think you said Kilo Delta 4 Sierra Charlie Kilo.
Apologies, got a little tongue-tied. Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Charlie Kilo. Mark.
All right, I think I got you. KG4 SCK, is that correct?
You nailed it, Stefan. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. All right, any other Summit counties, please call. All right, nothing heard. Now we get to the any county anywhere that wants to check into the SARAnet, please call W8 WKY. Thank you.
W8 WKY.
Kilo Alpha 8 Mike November Tango, Tom in Canton.
All right, K8MNT, appreciate that, Tom. Any other check-ins?
W8WKY. This is KE8YPY. I repeat, Kilo Echo 8, Yankee Papa Yankee. Henry in Broomfield.
All right, KE8YPY. Appreciate that. Cool YPY ending. That's pretty cool, Henry. Thank you. We'll get back to you shortly. Any other check-ins, please call.
KC8, Fox Queen Victor. Well, not even up. I'm still traveling 71, KSFQV.
All right, KC8FQV, we got you, Mark. Keep your eye on the road, and we'll get back to you hopefully when you're closer to home or something, because you're a little bit down on the list. So thank you for the check-in. Any other check-ins, please call. All right, last call for check-ins. And then we're going to go to Eric for the trivia questions. But last call for check-ins, please call W8WKY. All right, nothing heard, and here's the time that we've all come to, and we're going to get ready to start this net up the way that we know to start it, and that is with a good old-fashioned trivia question, and someone who can churn up the trivia questions just like our friend Russ used to is Eric Elm, W8ELM, also on our VE team. I want to thank him for all the things that he's done for us on the VE sessions, and for making that a great part of what's happening here in Northeast Ohio, along with the other VE teams around the area, including the Norris Fest, the Norris Club VE team. But, Eric, what is that wonderful question that you have for us this evening?
Well, thank you for that fine introduction, Stefan, and good evening to everybody that hung around for this. Well, at 12:42 hours on 21 September 1962, the massive 300-foot radio telescope at Green Bank, West Virginia, began operation with astrophysicist Frank Drake and George Grove at the controls. It was then the largest transit radio telescope in the world. On 15 November 1988, at 0943, almost without warning, the telescope collapsed into a pile of rubble. Your question for tonight: while it operated, the Green Bank telescope was steerable. A, in altitude only. B, in azimuth only. C, in both altitude and azimuth. Or D, equatorially. And I'll give that again. While it operated, the Green Bank telescope was steerable. A, in altitude only. B, in azimuth only. C, in both altitude and azimuth. Or D, equatorially. Back to net. This is W8ELM.
W8ELM. Man, Eric. Wow. You know, you graduated. I can tell. You graduated, man. You're right there on top, my friend. Right there on top. That is awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our net out, and we're going to start at the very top, and that was the person that asked us if we would move us down. And N8PZD. Burton, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think that Eric's trivia question answer is, and how was your day?
I'll say good evening to everyone on the net. I'm going to say azimuth only and turn it back to net control. and 8PZD. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, we'll always take your call, my friend. We'll always take your call. And like I said, as we've talked before, I know your brother Carl, and he's part of the West Park Radio Ops, which I am also a member of. I don't know how many clubs I'm a member of now yet. I think there might be, there's too many to count. Well, actually, you can count them on one hand. When I have to start taking my shoes off, I think then I got to figure out how many clubs I should, really be involved in. But anyways, it's great to be involved in all of them. So thank you, my friend. KD8SLG, W8WKY. Nick, you are up, my friend. It is great to have you here. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
W8WKY. This is KD8SLG. Good evening, Stefan, and all of the Sarah Club netizens out there on the club net tonight. Let's start with trivia. I'm going with C, because C is always the wrong answer when Eric asks the question. Somebody's got to take it. Might as well be me. I should have jumped in during the announcements for this, but I had a mouthful of food. But I did want to thank everyone who had anything to do with Field Day this past weekend. I started writing out a list and decided that I would miss someone or forget something, and I didn't want to feel guilty about that later on, so I'm just going to do a big blanket thank you across the board. There were any number of folks who were there from start to finish with me, setup team, breakdown team, operators who worked all night. I made one contact, by the way. So Jason is working hard right now, collating the score. That's a little bit above my pay grade, but it wasn't a contest. It's a contest that's not a contest, but I think we did very well and we had a whole lot of fun, and I just want to thank everybody who had anything to do with it. So there we go. This is KD8SLG. Back to net control.
KD8SLG, W8WKY, we appreciate that, Nick. Yeah, I stopped down. It was a nice setup. It always is a nice setup. I got there a little bit late to set up to help with the antennas. There was already like 52 people holding on to ropes and wires and all. I figured the 53rd person would have just been too much. I think, you just never know. But anyways, next year I'll get there earlier. I just had a little bit of a problem getting out in the morning, and then I did go back in the evening, so that was pretty cool setup, and it looked all great, and I know that there were a lot of people working it, so thank you very much, Nick, for being as they say, the Field Day czar. Next year I'd like to have some hummus and some Baba Ganoush if we could, since you're going to be the czar. I appreciate that. Forget those meatball things. I want some Mediterranean stuff. KC8 HDP. Jerry, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think that Eric's trivia question is? And Jerry is another one of our fine VEs on the Sarah group.
Well, good evening, Stefan, and to everyone on the net. Great job on the net, as always, Stefan. I will go with Delta. I have no clue what the answer is, and Delta hasn't been picked, so I'm going with that. I want to echo Nick's sentiments about Field Day. It was a great Field Day. Wasn't it Sarah? Was it Worcester at the Wayne Amateur Radio Club? A lot of members of Sarah and the Wayne Amateur Group are members of both clubs, and we had great representation from both clubs, and thanks to everyone who came. We had our best Field Day we've had in a long time, had lots of great food and fellowship, and made lots of great contacts, and we didn't do it competitively, we just did it for fun, and had a great time with it, and was very productive as well. Don't have anything else for the net, so I'm going to send it back to you, Stefan. W8WKO. Thanks, Eric, for the trivia question. You always do a great job with that. So with that, back to you, Stefan. W8WKY in the net from KC8HDP. 7-3 to all.
W8WKY.
KC8HDP. W8WKY. Appreciate your response there, Jerry. and for being a valuable member of all of the amateur radio community. I know you do far more than just our VE team. You do a lot of the weather spotting stuff and things like that, amongst other things. So thanks for doing that for all of us and getting a lot more people involved in that. So really cool. KE8NDW, KE8NDW, W8WKY. Connor, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
All right, hello everybody. Thanks for having me on the net. For the trivia question, I'm going to have to say alpha. I don't think it would need azimuth if the Earth's rotating underneath it. I'm guessing altitude only. Recently, I've just got my extra past few weeks, and I had a great time at the Sarah Field Day, so thanks for having me out.
All right, KE8NDW, appreciate you for being with us this evening, Connor, and for coming out to Field Day, so that was pretty cool. And Field Days were happening everywhere. As a matter of fact, when I was driving back to WEWIZ, the Wiz's house, Bob, out there in Norton, we passed several places along the way. We took a different route I've never taken. And I think just in that one trip, looking at the way the cars were parked and the antennas and stuff that were on cars in different parking lots and different areas and things, I think we must have passed 3 field day setups, 3 to 4, I think, in different areas going towards Norton. So that was a busy, busy evening. So thanks for being there, Connor. We do appreciate it. WV3K, WAWKY. Phil, it's great to have you here this evening. Another one of our VEs, and thank you for that, what you do for the community there. You are up. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
November 8th, Whiskey Bravo. Stefan, this is WV3K. Thank you. It's very nice to hear your voice, Stefan, and thank you so much for all what you do as well. Much taken for granted that the efforts that you and so many others in the club take time to selflessly give of themselves to help and support the needs for others. I am humbled and very grateful for that. As far as, and might I say thank you for the trivia question, Eric. Very nice question. As far as the trivia answer, I can't imagine doing azimuth and elevation if the thing had collapsed, but I've seen a lot of telescopes, radio telescopes as well, and I didn't know about the one that collapsed. I don't keep up with that. The only thing I can say, I'm going to go along with Delta with Nick, and what an amazing job that Nick has done. Thank you, Nick, for the beautiful work that you've done to orchestrate and try coordinating. Well, not even trying. I mean, you achieved so much in coordinating the efforts needed for Field Day. Thank you so much for that. I'll take Delta for that, just for fun. Not that I know anything about it for real. But again, Stefan, thank you again so much for covering ground too, for handling that this evening, and wonderful to hear your voice. N8 WV for W8WKY. Back to net control. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, Phil and Canal Fulton. And have a wonderful and blessed evening, everyone. WV3K.
WV3K, we appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much for being with us, Phil, and thank you for the kind words. It's always great to have you on this net. KE8UIB, W8WKY. John, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here. What do you think that Eric's trivia question answer is?
N8WB from KE8UIB. Good evening, Steph, and everybody out there on the net. And trivia question. I have no idea, so I'll just take A for Alpha. We'll keep it simple, that's for sure. I tried to make it to the Sarah Field Day. I just could not get up early enough Sunday, guys. I'm totally sorry. The missus got called into work Saturday evening. She got home late, and we got to bed later than we thought. So we tried. But with that, I hope everybody had a good time, and I had a great time with the ones I was able to make it to, and had a really good evening tonight and stuff. Got to spend some time with my 6-year-old granddaughter and my 2-month-old identical twin grandson. Wow, that's kind of a hard one to spit out. But with that, I hope everybody out there is having a good evening as I live the $5 dream a nickel at a time. And with that, this is K8UIB. I'll hand this back over to Net Control. 7-3, y'all.
All right, KE8UIB. I appreciate you being with us. John, trust me, we totally understand. I'd rather spend time with my nephews. My brother has 2, and his wife, Don and Mindy, have 2 boys, Jacob and Carter. I love those guys, so I totally understand, and they totally understand, too. I mean, look, dude, when I met you the other day at the Sarah meeting for the first time, I really wanted to walk across the room and meet you because, living the dream a nickel at a time, that's great. And I know that one day when you get a raise, you might change to living a dime a day. But, I'm just saying. But it's great to always hear you, my friend. Thank you for joining us and for joining my net tonight and the Sarah net in particular. KE8EHG, W8WKY. Michael, you are up, or Mike and DeMar. It's always good to hear you. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
Good evening, Stefan, and everyone on the net. I have no clue. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to say Delta. We'll see what happens there. But I did some field day at home, went down to the Mosley Club, just kind of hung around a little bit, said hello, and I came back home and did a little bit more and went to bed. I was thinking about coming up and seeing you guys, but I'm like, you know what? The eyelids are shut, and so it's time to go to bed. So, but yeah. 7-3s, everyone, and yeah, John with them identical twins. We just had a net on 147.12. Told him he might be using a few more nickels on those grandsons here coming up. So 7-3s, everyone. KE8EHG, back to net.
KE8EHG, we appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just totally forgot that. Now that you got the identical grandkids. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. They're going to play so many games on you. Oh, man. We're going to teach them new games, too, just so they can fool you every chance they can. That's awesome. But, yeah, you might have to spend a couple nickels on it. Well, you are going to have to spend a nickel and a nickel. Yeah, might want to start adopting the dime a day. I'm just throwing that out there. All right, my friends. Thank you, Mike, for being part of that. And I'd love to join some of those nets when I love hearing about other nets and people having a great time on amateur radio. And speaking of other people, really close by, not too far, WO3X, W8WKY. John, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
Good evening, Stefan, and all on the net. This is WO3X. Let's see. I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to choose Bravo. And regarding field day, okay, my field day activity started Saturday morning. Went out to Groundhog Hill in Silver Springs Park in Stowe and helped with the setup. And we got everything set up, and then I headed home. And at 2 p.m., I started to operate WO3X1 Echo, Ohio. And I did that until about 9:30 p.m. and took a nap, and then headed back out to Groundhog Hill to operate during the night on the 80, 20, 15, and 10 meter station, and did that until about 5:30. Then I went home, took a nap, and then I didn't get back on to WO3X1 Echo, Ohio until about 11 a.m., and I operated that until 2 p.m., shut that down, and headed back out to Groundhog Hill for the teardown. So we all had a good time, and the Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor, made thousands of contacts. So with that, back to the net. This is WO3X.
WO3X, W8WKY. We appreciate you being with us, John. So you were really, really busy that day. We could tell that. So thank you for joining us and for telling us about the field day experience that you had. KG4SCK. Mark, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
Hey, good evening, Stephen, and everyone on the net. That's a really good one. I am going to side with Clark, NATVD, and I'm going to pick Bravo. And about the field day, well, as being a safety officer in my first field day, and this is my first club, all of you kind folks accept me warmly. But I tell you, it's tough keeping up with the antenna crew. So many antennas going up and down and back up again, and checking the cables, and taping and ground. It was fun. And at teardown, I found out that I might have some lineage of King Arthur, because pulling that ground rod up was like removing Excalibur from the granite stone. Ooh. I mean, I felt my spine depressed, and went just a little pain and stopped right there. Then I bent my knees, gave it another heave, and freed it. And I thought I heard rejoicing from above. It was really fun, guys. I thank you all for the opportunity. This is KG4SDK, back to W8WKY Net Control.
KG4SCK, we appreciate that, Mark. Great to hear about your great field day happening, and that you got a chance to spend it doing what you love, like what we all love, doing amateur radio. So very cool. KA8MNT W8WKY. It's the joke man from the barometer net, and most of the times I'm out of range. I've run out of string, broke my chain, whatever they call it, so I don't get to hear it. But it's great to have you on tonight's net, and I hope that you're doing good, my friend. And what do you think Eric's trivia question answer is?
W8WKY, this is KA8MNT. Well, I'll tell you what, as far as the trivia goes, I am an expert. I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot. So, with that in mind, I got no idea. I think I'm going to hang my hat on D, Delta, which means anybody that picked that is wrong. So we'll go from there. I did visit but it was like in 1994 or 95, someplace in there, and they had rebuilt and put a new one in place. And, well, you know, more improved, I guess. Anyhow, had a great day today. We went to the 6-meter net guys at breakfast, and then I went and picked up a new battery for my ammo can radio, and then I decided I was going to go up to DX Engineering, and it looked like the 6-meter group was having another meeting up there at DX, because there was 3 of us up there, and each of us walked away with a little new toys. So I got a new antenna tuner, and so did one of the other guys, and the other one picked up a 7300. So look out, radio waves. We're on the warpath, I think. So anyhow, with that, I'm going to back on out of here and give the airwaves to somebody else. So this is KA8MNT, back to the net.
KA8MNT, W8WKY. We appreciate the time. We appreciate you being with us, my friend, and for sharing all that information. It's always good to hear. It's always good to hear that stuff. And like I said, sometimes I get to hear when you're doing the joke in the morning, and especially when I'm running the net, then I really get to hear it. And I always get to hear the closer as well, W8CTM. But thanks, Tom. Do appreciate that. All right, here's one that I haven't heard. Somebody new, KE8YPY, W8WKY. Henry, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here this evening. What do you think Eric's trivia question answer is? Try one more time. KE8YPY. Henry, I believe. I think that's what you said. All right, we'll check a little bit later. Maybe Henry will jump back on a little bit. Let's see if Mark is closer to home. I know he said he was driving KC8FQV, W8WQA. Mark, you're up, my friend. It's great to have you here tonight. What do you think Russ's trivia question answer was?
All right, Stephen, KCFQV. Well, I'm going to say I'll try Bravo. I'll try Bravo. Well, you know, 71's getting closer from Lexington, Kentucky, up to Cleveland, being all 3 lanes. You know, pretty much all south of 75 is done, actually from Island. So they only got the section from Kings Island to Columbus, but there's a big section they just got going south of Columbus done. That's south 70. So I don't think it's going to be too many more years that you're going to have 3 lanes clear from Cleveland, 71 clear down to Lexington, Kentucky. And they're even getting they got rid of the nosedive in Columbus. You don't have to do the nosedive when you come up 71 to go north when you come across 70. They took care of the nosedive. You stay on the south side of 70 and you go across that little section and you can hit 60 miles an hour through the curve. So they really make strides down there. So we'll send it back to net, Stephen, KC8FQV.
KC8FQV, W8WKY. We do appreciate you being with us, Mark. Be careful on the road as you're driving. And thank you for that, for the responses that you have. I'm going to reach out one more time to Henry, KE8YPY. If you're there, Henry, it's great to have you here tonight.
W8WKY, this is KE8YPY. I was talking into the mic. I don't know if you can hear me. Maybe I timed out the repeater, or I'm in a bad location. I just got my license, and I'm transmitting and making contact. And tonight I went to Pizza Hut for dinner. That was super good. And for my answer to the trivia, I will go with A, Alpha. And yeah, I've just been jumping on and making contact, using that especially, and having that secure that as well. You guys want to check that out? I have one question. I heard of the boredom breaker test, and I looked it up, and it was on, said it was on this computer, on the Sarah website, and I haven't been able to hear it. So, do you have some hearing it, or what? This is KE8YPY. Yippee! Back to W8WKY.
KE8YPY, yippee! I love that. That's awesome, Henry. And it's so glad to hear that you're a new ham and you're getting on the radio. You're actually push the talk button. I remember the first time I got on the radio, I was like so thrilled just to push the button and talk. And we're glad that you joined us. Please join us again. I don't have the answer for that, but before we close this out, let me reach out to Nick, KD8SLG, because I know that he is periodically a boredom breaker net control. I believe he can tell you what time that is, and then you can try to jump on those occasions. KD8SLG, if you would, please.
W8WKY, this is KD8SLG. KE8YPY, Henry. Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 3, this repeater is linked to the Boredom Breaker hub for both hours now, and you will be able to listen to it right here at that time. At this moment in time, that's the only time we link up to the Boredom Breaker hub. So there's your ticket in. We'll be listening for you tomorrow. KD8SLG, back to net control.
KD8SLG, thanks Nick for filling in KE8YPY, Henry. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And that's why ham radio is such a cool thing here anywhere, not just Northeast Ohio, anywhere in the world. Because we help people out and we get information going where it needs to go. And so, Henry, check out all the things you can check out, including radiograms. Check those out. There's a lot of people that do traffic, and traffic is one of the things that I really love that I want to get more involved in. I have pushed traffic, but I've done a lot of digital traffic, and that's when you send messages through amateur radio, but I do a lot of digital on that. I do a lot of packet. So, but I'd like to get involved in the regular side of that, just something you might want to look into. I think you might enjoy that. So with that being said, and want to keep close to the hour that we are at, because we are at about 8:55, I want to make sure that we get this over to our Eric Elm, W8ELM for tonight's trivia question answer. Take it away, Eric, my friend.
All right, thank you, Stefan. I'll read the question again quickly. While it operated, the Green Bank telescope was steerable, A, in altitude only, B, in azimuth only, C, in both altitude and azimuth, or D, equatorially. And Connor nailed it. The correct answer is A, in altitude only, and he mentioned about the Earth turning beneath it. So we had 3 correct answers tonight. Connor was the first, KE8NDW. The second was John, KE8UIB. And the third one was Henry. Good evening to you, Henry. And congratulations on becoming a new amateur radio operator. So KE8YPY had the third correct answer. During its 26 years of operation, the telescope observed supernova remnants, pulsars, complex nebular stellar nurseries, and even contributed to the discovery of mysterious dark matter. Break for time. Because the telescope was oriented north-south and was steerable in altitude, it was able to observe the entire visible sky from its location as the Earth turned beneath it. An object remained in the telescope's view for about 40 seconds. Nearly every Northern Hemisphere radio object is listed in the Green Bank All-Sky 6-centimeter survey compiled using this telescope. Congratulations to our 3 winners tonight. Back to net.
All right, W8ELM. Eric, what a great trivia question answer. I mean, man, that was something else. That was like phenomenal. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for being part of this club and for being part of the VE team and all that you do in amateur radio. All right, I'd like to thank everyone who participated in tonight's net, and don't forget that we do breakfast at Bueller's in Wadsworth on Saturday mornings. And Eric, you might know the time for that. What time does the breakfast usually happen?
I do know that, Stefan, and it is at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m. Of course, if you get there a little bit later, we usually don't order right away at 7, but not too long after that. W8ELM, back to net.
W8ELM, we appreciate that. Thank you, my friend Eric. And 7 a.m. at Bueller's every Saturday for breakfast. So if you want to see some of the nicest hams, as our recording says, Come on down to Bueller's in Wadsworth on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. I have no idea why it's ungodly hour. I think it's kind of a godly hour. I think 7 o'clock could be a godly hour as well. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to push anything. I'm merely saying at this time, we're going to close the net with 32 check-ins. I'd like to thank everyone who checked in this evening, both the in and out check-ins and those that joined for the trivia question. Every single one of you made this net a very fun and great net to do, and I love doing this. I'm on every second month of the year, fourth week, and so my next one will be with everyone in August, the fourth week of August, fourth Tuesday. So we have a great group of net control operators. We used to do it. I used to do it every fourth week of every month, which was fun as well. But we got a great group of net control operators, and now we were able to spread our stuff out a little bit more. But anyways, I want to say that I love amateur radio, I love this hobby, I love this club, and I love all of you, and I thank all of you for being part of this. This repeater is now returning back to normal amateur use. November 8, Whiskey Bravo and WAWKY are both clear, although WAWKY repeater will be in operation 24/7. Everyone have a great evening. 73, my friends.
W8WKY.